Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in to Poem Praise 2. I certainly know that it has been a couple days since the last time I spoke to you. I certainly hope that you have had peace and blessings upon you the last few days. And we are going to move right along in the extraordinary African Americans. The next extraordinary African American I have for you today is Collin Luther Powell. Now, he's Secretary of State and General during the time period of 1937 and current. And this is the information I have on Mr. Powell. It goes like this. There is nothing that a black boy or girl can't be. Not if they put their mind to it. Collin Powell. Now, Collin Luther Powell was born in New York City after his parents immigrated to the United States from Jamaica. After graduating from the City College of New York with a degree in geology, he received a commission as second lieutenant in the U.S. Army. Powell's duty took him all over the country, from Fort Devens, Massachusetts, to Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, to Fort Carson, Colorado. Now, in 1962, he was sent to Vietnam. He returned home after being wounded, but later he went back for a second tour of duty from 1968 to 1969. Now, although injured in a helicopter crash, he helped rescue other people from the burning aircraft. Now, in 1972, Powell received an appointment as a White House Fellow in the Nixon administration. A few years later, in 1976, he became commander of the 2nd Brigade, 101st Airborne Division, at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. In 1983, Powell became military assistant to Defense Secretary Caspar Weinberger. He was involved in the U.S. invasion of Grenada in the Caribbean, Grenada or Grenada in the Caribbean, and later helped plan air raids against Libya in retaliation for terrorist activities. Now, in 1987, Powell became National Security Advisor to President Ronald Reagan. 2 years later, in 1989, President George Bush promoted Powell over more senior generals to become the first African American chairman of the Joint Chief of Staffs. There he supervised the U.S. invasion of Panama in 1989 and the Persian Gulf War in 1991. Now, Powell's winning strategy was based on his belief that when military action is indicated, the military should attack with overwhelming force right from the beginning, rather than go in with a smaller number of troops and then increase them, as was the case in Vietnam. Now, Powell retired from active duty in 1993 after being awarded numerous military awards and decorations, including the Defense Distinguished Service Medal, Defense Superior Service Medal, and Legion of Merit, the Bronze Star, and the Purple Heart. He was also honored by the governments of Argentina, Brazil, France, Jamaica, Japan, Korea, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Greece, and Canada. Queen Elizabeth II of England granted him an honorary knighthood. He also received the Presidential Medal of Freedom. After retiring, Powell headed America's Promise, an organization dedicated to helping young people. In 1995, he published his autobiography, My American Journal. In 1995, Powell now serves on the boards of several nonprofit organizations, including Howard University and the United States and the United Negro College Fund. In December 2000, newly elected President George W. Bush made Powell the first African American U.S. Secretary of State. Now that does complete the information I have on Mr. Powell. The next extraordinary African American coming up is going to be Alice Walker. She's a writer during the time period of 1944. And certainly stay tuned. I'll have more for you here on Poem Praise 2. All right. Later, y'all.